Good evening, everybody. We are back because we have a data mine to cover for our new units coming in like a day at this point for Doorway to Destiny, that being Quan, Sylvia, and Lewin. But if you checked the notification section in the game itself, you would also note that during the banner reveal trailer thing, we also got the news that Ethylene would be a reward unit for Tempest Trials that's coming up soon, though it's not on my map down there. So we'll be getting a new one of those probably pretty soon. I think they normally pop out around the 10th of the month, so a couple days we'll be getting one of those calendars. But if you don't want the character art for Ethylene spoiled, I'll be leaving her out of the thumbnail, or at least like covering her up so you can't actually see her. And then we're also going to have her listed last. So if you just want to catch the first three that we've already had revealed art-wise, you can stick around and then just cut out after we cover Lewin. We're going to be going Quan, Sylvia, Lewin, and then Ethlyn at the very end there. So this is your obligatory spoiler warning. Alright, the spoilers will be coming. We're going to be looking at level 40 neutral stats. Allegedly level 40 neutral stats for these characters, and they are interesting. I have them on my screen right now, especially Sylvia. Sylvia is quite curious in terms of her res. But before we get into that, I want to thank the data miners over at Game Press because they do great work, and they allow people like me to make videos like this. So thank you guys. We'll cut back. I don't want my phone to go to sleep because we want the background music. Anyway, so spoilers incoming. I guess we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Right off the bat, we have Quan here. Quan is, of course, the cavalry lance that we saw yesterday in the trailer. And he's got 44 HP, 37 attack, 29 speed, defense of 31, and res of 16. So while I thought he'd be faster and more physically offensive oriented, he is definitely a heavy hitter in terms of attack for the most part. At neutral, I want to say he'll be at least near 50, which is pretty good before you have any kind of like skill investment or whatever. But speed of 29 is not great. It's not great. It's not a great tier. You won't be doubled by armored units, basically, which, well, some armored units, I will say. Not all armored units, some armored units, you won't be doubled. But defensive 31 is really nice. So, I mean, I can't take fault with that. He's very physically oriented in terms of attack and defense, and that's kind of nice. 16 res, definitely don't want the boon in that. That would not be good. Don't want res boon. Unless maybe you're trying to go for some kind of res tank weird thing, that would work too. But I would say plus attack or defense, you're looking pretty sharp for the most part. Again, I don't know what the Banes and Boons are for these units yet. I haven't looked that up. I don't see it anywhere on here, so for the most part, let me know in the comments if you know what the Banes and Boons are for the units. But I would say try and get an attack or defense boon for Quan. Looking pretty solid in that respect. Let's move on to... who we got? Sylvia. Sylvia's up next. Hello, Sylvia. So a lot of you guys were... or not a lot. A couple of you guys during the trailer reaction video were like, well, that's the mother of Lean. And I was like, okay, cool. I was speaking in terms of she's similar to Lean in the sense that her weapon skill and it's similar but res oriented instead of defense oriented. That's what I was going for. But I'm glad that mother is also like daughter. That's kind of nice. Level 40 neutral stats for our infantry sword wielding dancer is an HP of 40, attack of 27, speed of 36. That's nice. Defense of 17 and res of 30. Res of 30. 30 res. That's kind of bonkers, man. That's a res tank right there, man. So you know, I kind of touched on this during the trailer video. Her skills are very res oriented. She gets a lot of res buff. When she gets attacked, for example, with her weapon skill, she's going to have 37 res at neutral. At neutral. That's so crazy. It's so crazy. But 36 speed is also really, really nice because she won't get doubled. Hardly ever, honestly. And if you get a boon, you're probably looking at 40, at least 39. So that's pretty solid. That's pretty darn solid before you get any like crazy buffs from slot skills or what have you. So Sylvia definitely is an interesting unit in the terms of being able to tank some res hits for sure. Mages, Dragonstone users, stuff like that. Like she's gonna be doing pretty darn well in that regard, especially the Dragonstones, because again those aren't ranged, so she can't actually counter to those unless you give her distant counter or something like that. I don't know. But she is going to be looking real good. Defense 17, that's not great. But a speed boon or a res boon, really solid here. Really solid. Of course, HP. if you got a Bane in that, no harm, no foul. Attack, you're really not going to be doing much with that anyway. And defense, I'm reluctant to say, or hesitant to say rather, that getting a Bane in defense wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but at 17, maybe you want to cling on to every little bit that you get. I don't know. So for what that's worth, Sylvia's pretty impressive in terms of the res tank. I cannot get over that. That is so impressive. So anyway, moving on here, we have Lewyn. Lewin, I think, was again the strongest unit in that banner yesterday. So let's take a look at him. Guiding Breeze Lewin. He's our Green Tome infantry unit, and he is not pulling any punches whatsoever. HP of 38, attack of 34, speed of 37, defense of 17, and res of 25. I think given the kit that he has, those are exactly the stat spreads that you want to see on Lewin. And they made him an absolute monster, dude. They made him a monster. He's got kind of like a sort of desperation built in as long as his HP is high enough into his weapon skill. You know, he comes with Glimmer, which is already a really low special cost in the first place. And then he's got just the skills to really put all of that to work. So I mean, it's going to be very interesting. Those skills, I believe, are inheritable. I'm not sure about his weapon skill necessarily, but the A, B, and C slot skills are definitely inheritable from what I can see. And so I'm not going to say you should fire off Lewin, but you should definitely try and get one or two. And if you have one with bad inherent values, maybe use one for fodder. Just throwing that out there, because a lot of units are going to appreciate a lot of the skills that he comes with. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I know a lot of you guys in the comments from the trailer video were like, "Oh, Lewin, great." So I don't have a whole lot of personal experience with the genealogy series in general. But Lewin absolutely seems to be a monster, and I'm excited about that. So let's move on to our final unit that we're going to take a look at here, and that is, of course, Ethlyn. So if you don't want to see Ethlyn, if you're not interested in seeing her art just yet, you want to be surprised come Tempest Trials time, now is the time to click off the video. You good? Great. Everybody else who's still here, let's take a look at the level 40 stats of Ethlyn. Oh my goodness. Which her art is really, like, all the art from everybody's unit, every unit in this banner / Tempest Trials is really good looking, to be honest. So, who am I? She is a staff unit. She is a cavalry unit. So we got a little horse emblem going on here. HP of 38, attack of 28, speed of 34, so she's pretty quick. Defense of 26 and res of 20. So she does have some decent tank potential. She is very fast. She's not necessarily maybe a Maribel or Elise type, or I guess more recently Veronica. I think Veronica is maybe one of the better staff cavalry units that we have now, alongside Maribel and Elise. But I think she could definitely hold her own, and she is, you know, a free unit. She is a free unit. So I mean, you know, that's what you're getting. there are no banes or boons to be had here. So I mean, for the most part, the stats look pretty decent. We'll probably have a chance at least 2 units. Probably just 2, probably not 3 right off the bat. But I'm sure she'll make a roundabout again at some point where we'll have a chance to get additional ones of her. So I mean, after merges and stuff, she could be really, really good. Again, just based on, you know, stats alone. So that's Ethylene in a nutshell, I think, for the most part. I gotta say, I wasn't like initially super stoked about this banner, but again, the art all looks great. The voices are really strong, and Lewin is just an absolute beast. So I am definitely going to be trying to pull on this banner for sure. Try and get at least 1 of each, maybe 2 or 3 or 5 of Lewin, just for safety's sake. And of course, Ethylene, you know, I do Tempest Trials just for the feathers alone and the orbs, and so Ethylene is just kind of an added bonus. Her art looks really good, like I said, and you know, she's shaping out to be what appears to be a pretty decent staff cavalry unit. Speaking of rolling on banners, if you haven't checked out the Gleam contest yet, in the description you can do that. I think it's still good. I think it's going until the 9th, I want to say. And it's we're giving away 2 $15 gift cards for both iTunes and Google Play. So if you want a chance at that, you can enter the contest below. It's supposed to be for Choose Your Legends too, but it kind of coincides with both this banner and that banner, so you can use it on either or. So, yeah, it's free orbs basically. Just go check it out if that's of interest to you. If not, don't sweat it. But that's all I got for right now, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. In the comments, let me know what you think about these units. Were the stats about what you were expecting? I think for the most part, other than Quan, I thought he'd maybe be a little bit faster. But you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Lewin, pretty much, and I was pretty much banking on Sylvia being a res tank, which she absolutely is. So that's no surprise there. So yeah, it's all pretty much kind of what I thought I'd see. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.